Pay attention to detail to what you are buying. I love a good base plate compass. $5 Turn On Sport is a better compass. Don't buy this compass. This one right here. You're probably wondering, Stoke, man, that's a Suunto compass. It's a base plate compass. You must just be an old military hard ass who only likes using the lensatic compass. And I mean, that's not completely untrue, but there is a reason why this compass is the one that you should not buy. And at first glance, you may be thinking that, again, you know, it's from where you're looking at, like this looks like the compass that you may want to buy. I love a good base plate compass. I love being able to preset my declination and not having to do any math, right? That's a beautiful thing. But there is something different about this compass, and there is a specific reason why you do not need to buy it. All right, so let's dig into this. So, two seemingly exact same compasses, right? Two Suunto compasses. Open these guys up. Look the same, feel the same. You can see that made in Finland. I hope that comes in, right? Made in Finland. They're both, made in Finland, right? They're both MC2s. They're both 1 to 24 scales. And I don't know if you caught already what the difference is. You probably can't because I'm going too fast, and that's the point, right? You get online and you start clicking stuff to buy, and then you spend 70 bucks and it's too late. In fact, this compass is so bad that this $5 Turn On Sport is a better compass for almost everybody out there in the world, right? This $5 cheap China Classic compass will not drive you mad, whereas this one will. Now let's look at why. So if you look at the bezel ring, look at what you see. You probably see 0. In fact, let's just move this. 0. And then we come over here, and what do you see? 90, right? Sounds like perfect math. Let's start at the top, 0. Then we'll come over here. Hopefully that number's in focus. But that's a 90. Come back down to south, and you see a 90. Like, what's going on here? So what's going on here is this is a quadrant compass, right? Everything is read from either north, south, east, or west, and then you add in a number, right? So you don't get an azimuth like you do with this one. You get something different, and you got to do a lot more math. Like, unless you're trying to encode something, like, so for 27 degrees, which is what I would say if I shot an azimuth of 27 degrees, I would just say 27 freaking degrees. With this one, I would have to say north 27 degrees east. Let's say I was shooting, I don't know. We'll go back the other way because it gets funky, man. Everything is read from whether or not you're closest to one of your primary directions, right? North, south, east, or west. So if you're shooting 340, you wouldn't just say 340. You would say north 20 degrees west, right? Who wants to do that? Now, there's another compass, and I wish I had one, and I wish I had taken some video footage of one. Another Suunto compass, exact same looking, right? Both MC2s. But instead of being a quadrant compass, instead of being a normal freaking compass that any red-blooded American would use, never mind that it was made in Finland, instead of degrees, it read in mils, right? Mils. Like, no. You don't need to be doing navigation with mills, ever. You can't read on a dial this small, right? On a dial this small, you could not read accurately 17 mils. You can't do it. It would be like trying to plot a 10-digit grid coordinate on a 1 to 100,000 map. You can't freaking do it. The scales were all wrong. And if I had a bezel ring that was, this freaking big, well, then mills would be awesome, right? But with something this size, don't do it. So when you're looking online, whether it's eBay, whether it's Amazon, whatever, pay attention to detail to what you are buying, right? Pay attention to detail to what you're buying. Same thing with protractors. Like if you don't know what kind of and not that you inherently need a protractor unless you're doing a more of a military style line navigation course, or unless you're trying to actually plot your location, like maybe you have a GPS and you want to figure out and plot exactly where you're at on a map, then having a protractor might come in handy. But pay attention to the protractors out there, because they're all different, right? Circle, square, square with squares, square with triangles, square where you put your protractor on the bottom left-hand corner and read to the right and up, which is what you freaking want. Or protractors where you have to put it on the left and push it to the right and then read up. Like, you can use all these tools, right? You can use this tool effectively, this quadrant compass. You can use it. It's just going to probably take you a little bit more time. You can use a protractor where you have to put it on the left or on the right and swing it to the left and then read up. But it goes against every fundamental thing that somebody who is just starting off in navigation, or somebody who's used to doing something and then inadvertently is going to make a mistake. Just like some compasses or some protractors, if you're not careful, in order to plot some things, you may have to actually turn the protractor over half of the time so that 0's at the top and 90's at the left, in order to make things right. If you wanted to push right and up, right? Does that make sense? Like, don't make things harder on yourself. Pay attention to details when you're going to purchase something, and look at those pictures, look at those reviews. And that's a crazy thing with Amazon, is if you go to look up an MC2, you could pull up one that has all three, right? So mils, degrees, quadrant. And it's all going to be under the same link. And only when you click the drop-down menu or whatever and then select which one you want is the one that you want going to come up. So on your initial search, if you said a MC2 compass, if the first link that actually popped up was for a quadrant, it may not tell you quadrant. Suunto MC2, yep, that's it. Get it and go. And then this is what you get. And you're going to be pissed off with a hard lesson learned for the rest of your life. Team, I'm really looking forward to hearing your thoughts and your comments about maybe purchasing mistakes that you've made in the past, or different types of compasses that you've used, right? Which one is your favorite compass to use? Do you use the old China Classic? Do you use a cheap piece of crap lensatic compass that doesn't have a bezel ring? Like, it doesn't do any good, right? It's basically a big-ass button compass. This isn't even a big-ass button compass. This is a compass that you can use. Don't buy this compass unless you're buying for a group of dudes, right? Or kids or something. But it'll get the job done. Any other lessons learned? Because that's what ultimately this is all about. Enlarging a conversation so that we can master our craft and develop our tactical virtue. Team, I appreciate you guys. Until then, you stay out there, you keep grinding, and you stay stoked.
We know you're out there! Come to my voice!
Team, if you want to master your craft and develop your tactical virtue, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell so that you can stay up to date on future content. Consider becoming a channel member. It's going to give you exclusive access to content not available to anybody else. I appreciate you guys. Until then, you stay out there, you keep grinding, and you stay stoked.